Sup shooters, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SB Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track by a band, an act named Anaphora, and this is called Shadows. And if we switch over to here, we've got the music video on YouTube. We've got artwork by Serge, directed by Yakova, and produced by Aureus Sergetus. From the album Illusion in 2019. Cool, awesome. We've also got lyrics here. If anyone's interested in checking out those, I might look at that just before we finish the review, just to make sure I understand what the track's about. In case the lyrics do not provide it, because sometimes it's good to have the whole entire lyrics in front of you in context, right? Well, listen to this. Listen to this video from start to finish, and we're gonna hear what we think. Oh, that's nice and loud. Already, like, I'm well impressed with the guitar sound. That bass is also finely polished, and the drums. You can tell by like the diddle-a-din thing on the ride cymbal that there's dynamic range to this, and I really appreciate that. At 5 minutes, this is a little bit of a longer track for a single, but then again, this is off of an album, so they're already doing pretty well for themselves, and they can justify their real estate. Okay, I'm getting like kind of a mid-2000s like kind of hard rock kind of vibe from this. I'm really digging how the vocals work with that tone of the guitar. The color, it's very cohesive. It's all around sounding really good. And I'm liking the backing vocals as well. I need a bit more time with them just to get used to them. Okay, we're getting that Don't Look Back kind of vibe from that. I'm hearing that. I'm assuming these are maybe the band members that are sitting on the steps, or like people who are affiliated with the band. Like, I like this acoustic kind of focus. I'm wondering if they're gonna go for kind of a heavier kind of distortion or overdrive in some of these next few choruses. Again, this is just a personal thing. This is not me trying to tell them how to make music at all. That's not the point of these reviews. They're not meant to tell someone how to be creative. But having that kind of build and intensity with maybe that guitar tone shifting onto overdrive distortion might bring up the intensity and sort of separate those verses and choruses in the way that maybe sort of I'm liking the fact that I can tell these guys are playing live together. I'm liking how authentic and sort of human the performance is. Too often I get musicians that will kind of hide the fact that there are people playing instruments, and I'll either record it to a fact where it's sort of too perfect to even sound real, or they'll use modulation or whatever to kind of hide any faults. I think it's really important for bands to players, especially in a genre like this, for it to be a raw performance, and I have a lot of love for what they managed to accomplish here in regards to that. Something else I really appreciate. Oh, guitar solo. No, I can wait. All right, I think that was nice. I'm glad that the drums are faded out here. That was quite an effective solo for a few reasons, but the main one is that it sat well amongst the rest of the instrumentation. There's not been a lot of really crazy flourish in regards to any of the instruments in particular. There's not been any sort of like really crazy massive vocal runs. There has not been sort of any like really wild drum fills or anything like that. It's meant to be a very kind of, it's almost like quite a conservative kind of performance where people are just like, no, we need to play together as a group. We need to serve the music more than ourselves. And I think that that's really fantastic what they managed to accomplish here. It's really good. Having this fade out as well was good. The drums can take a break sometimes, you know. They're really valuable and important, but it's good to have that little bit of a... See, you can come back in with that fill there. I'm glad the vocals came back in here, because even though this is a longer song, I'm not sure if it would have really served it well to have had a longer solo than that, you know? And I'm glad as well, like, that those backing vocals are a sometimes thing, primarily because I think that the vocalist is strong enough to be able to sort of stand on his own. You need to have him as the focal point. If you have backing vocals most of the entire time, it's just a little bit overwhelming. Subtle little guitar lines behind as well. We're really sticking with that acoustic tone for the entirety of the track, aren't we? That's all good. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't have an issue with it. Was that some double kick there? Oh, we've got like really high backing vocals here now. Like, again, that's something else. Just before we finish off, I'm digging how some of the guitar lines actually go above his range as a vocalist. I think that's really important because you don't want to have a guitar and the vocals really their sort of main frequencies being in the same kind of register, because otherwise it can become more difficult to hear a vocalist, especially when the vocalist is sort of more of a kind of an alt. A tenor or a bass? Yeah. You want to separate them in the fourth harmony parts, you know? Fourth part harmony. I think the video has been really well done. Just the reason I don't really sort of comment on the videos so much is primarily because I'm not as knowledgeable about music videos and how to sort of grade them. And I don't want to risk coloring the overall review by showing my potential ignorance of what's involved in the video. So that's why I haven't spoken. I've really enjoyed the video. I think it's been done incredibly well. It's very professional. But that's why I haven't commented on the video. Because I want to focus on the music, because that's kind of what I know more about. You know? Yeah. Again, it really has that kind of mid-2000s, like late 2000s noughties kind of vibe to it. In terms of the instrumentation, the overall tonality and production of it. I can appreciate what they were trying to go for, and I think that it was very, very kind of effective. The reason I initially said hard rock at first is because I've just been indoctrinated to assume that if you have that kind of tone with the vocals and the acoustic guitar and everything else, that you're going to get some acoustic or distorted, like some overdriven or distorted guitars. And it didn't happen. And you know, that's okay. It's okay if it doesn't happen. It doesn't. Not every single track within this genre needs to have distorted guitars. They may have tried recording distorted or overdriven guitars, and maybe the tone they were using didn't really match well with the vocalist or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's nonetheless that's the only thing. I'm glad the kicks were not any quieter than they were in the mix, because if the kicks were any quieter than they were in the mix, it may have been quite difficult to kind of hear them. But they're loud enough that they kind of blended in with the rest of the sort of the lower harmony instruments. One of my favorite parts was actually that acoustic guitar tone. That acoustic guitar was recorded beautifully. The performances were solid. I think that there were very good decisions made with the vocalists and the sort of the backing vocals and all that kind of stuff. And I'm glad, again, as I mentioned before, they phrased them very, very well. I'm just going to have a quick look through the lyrics before I get onto those. I'll be right back. So I'm kind of reading through the lyrics here. It says, "You've got the name I can't remember. You've got the face I don't care. Step into the town and break the wall down. Your heartbeat is only sound." I guess this is about like a past relationship, someone that they may just not feel anything for. You know, they're in their distant memory. Maybe that they didn't end well, and the heartbeat is only sound because, you know, they might have had their heart, but there's nothing really there at all. It's obviously not particularly positive stuff. We fall that place that, you know, burn pages in my way. Can't understand these days what I think, what I feel in my way. Oh, so it's kind of dealing with that inner turmoil, and they're not really being sure what to do with themselves and to kind of how to cope with the situation. Shadows. Makes perfect sense, actually. That they're just remnants of the past that they haven't come to terms with, and they haunt them. Again, the lyrics and the vocal style mesh well with the rest of the instruments. The production was pretty good. You know, like the kick was fine, and just there might have been a lower bass resonance in there somewhere, but I still think they did a tremendously good job with this. Very stylistically cohesive. I'm looking forward to what they do in future. Maybe they'll be releasing some new stuff this year. You know, I think hopefully the studios are open back up. But that was effectively my review of Anaphora Shadows. Hopefully you enjoyed this review, but more importantly, hopefully you enjoyed their music. Please do check out their various social medias, and I'll link them in the description of this video, and their YouTube page. Stay cool, stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists. At this point in time, I just need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next review. And anything else before I finish? Yeah, I think I'm glad that they've taken. In the end, I'm glad that they stuck with that acoustic guitar. I know I've gone on about it a bit, but I think it's really good that they challenge the assumptions we make about a genre and sort of create their own music, and I have a lot of respect for that. Anyways, see you later. Spider hands up.